Yeah.
Well, how good is the bream fishing in our very own backyard? G'day, it's Leaf here with this week's Boss Outdoor Fishing Report. I know the bream fishing in Malakuta is spectacular at this time of year, but we don't even have to travel that far. Right in the backyard, if you want to just slow roll some cranks through those oyster leases, there is lots of bream getting caught right here in Marula. So just like our staff member Brenton Gilligan and his mate Jamo did over the last week, they've been fishing Marula, casting into those oyster racks and pulling out some amazing fish. If you want to know more about this, come and see Brenton in store.
So I know we say it a lot, the flat in front of the shop, there's always flatties there. Low light conditions on a rising tide early in the morning is best. To be honest, whenever the tide's high, they'll be there, but that flat out the front of the shop is great. The one up behind me on the boardwalk here is producing plenty of flatties, so even throw a few bigger lures. Adam Harris has been getting a few on the Molex 130 glide bait, so they're not afraid to hit bigger lures. Yeah, get amongst it, you should get some flatties. So the estuary fishing in the channel at the moment has been red hot. There's plenty of trevally all through the channel from the bridge up to the top lake and even down towards Bar Beach as well. There's still a few mulloway getting caught in the top lake around the edges. Low light conditions, fish some bigger plastics around those edges. You may even catch a few good flatties as well. Down towards the front, like I mentioned last week, all those big yellowfin bream come off the beaches in towards the racks. They're feeding on prawns, crabs, smaller bait fish, so lightly weighted soft plastics in around the racks should catch you a few bream.
Well, the squid fishing at the moment is spectacular. There's so many squid around. If you want to catch yourself a feed of calamari at the moment, get out there early morning, late afternoon, as the light is either coming up or down. You want those low light conditions, and there's heaps of calamari around. Just chuck it out there, bring it back in a bit, eradicate, just like a prawn would swim around, and you'll get a great feed of calamari.
So, off the rocks at the moment. It's fishing pretty well. We did have some cold, dirty water come in with that big swell recently from the cyclone up Queensland way. That's slowly clearing and the water hasn't cooled off too much. So it's still hovering around that 20, 21 degree mark. There's plenty of bonito still around. So get on a headland and chase some bonnies. They're thick and they do taste great. Heaps of frigate. So the frigate kind of disappeared with this swell. For a few days there wasn't many around. They're back in numbers, plenty getting around. The salmon, still plenty of salmon, some proper big models as well. And on the headlands as well, some tailor getting around. So fish the wash early in the mornings, should get some tailor and bonito.
I've seen some amazing captures of long-tailed tuna. So whether you're fishing off Tathra or Merimbula Wharf, both amazing platforms to target these great species. They pull so much string and are so much fun to catch, so get stuck into those longtails. If you're heading offshore this week, and you should be, the weather looks absolutely mint, I'd head out and hit the reefs early, sort of hit that 30 to 40 metre range and you'll pick up some really good snapper. There's been pretty good numbers of snapper, not that bigger size, but lots of numbers. The mowies have been pretty similar, there's plenty of mowies around, not all that big again. But yeah, you'll get a bag of them and then head north. I reckon you want to be up around that Bonder area, sort of 30 to 40 metres of water will get you a nice feed of flathead. Well, big congratulations, Harry, on catching your first marlin, and thanks for sending it in. There's a $10 voucher coming your way. Well, what a time it is on the far south coast to be a game fisherman. We've got marlin, there's striped marlin around Marula everywhere. They're getting some better black marlin in the mix as well. There's a lot of bait everywhere. The fishing's been a bit hit and miss over the last week with not too many boats catching fish on Tuesday, but then it came really good again yesterday with lots of boats catching 3 and 4 fish. So we should be in for a really good week with the weather absolutely prime. Maybe a little bit rough on Monday, but every other day is going to be very fishable out wide. And even yellowfin in the mix, hey? Who doesn't love going out there? And it might be worth going wider, chasing a blue marlin, and possibly getting a yellowfin tuna. This is some great fishing on the far south coast right now, so get out there. So my tip of the week this week, if you're going to go and catch one of those yellowfin tuna, is to head straight out of Marula, pretty wide. We'll put the coordinates up here for you. That'd be my starting point, I reckon. Do some circles around there, and hopefully you come up tight on a yellowfin tuna. So that's wraps things up for this week's fishing report. I reckon a deal of the week right now, anyone that watches a fishing report and comes in and tells us that they do, 20% off any packet of soft plastics. So just mention that to the boys at the counter, and they will hook you up.